So the Mandalorian and Grogu came in at number 6 on Friday, which means it's probably tracking to drop out of the top 5 this weekend, which is worse than the worst case scenario because I'd forgotten about the Amazing Digital Circus coming out this weekend too.
You said a bunch of people were coming to the theater for that when we were there for Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, there were quite a few people for Digital Circus. They had the plushies, the t-shirts. I mean, I'm assuming they were there for it. But yeah, this is not good. We're talking, what, the third weekend for a Star Wars movie, the first Star Wars theatrical release in 7 years, and it's already out of the top 5. It's not going to make its money back. I know people are trying to say, oh, it's already made back its production budget, and they're trying to...
That doesn't mean squat. The
doesn't mean anything.
Advertising on that was probably as much as a production budget, not counting the theatrical cuts. Even if they made like $200 million, they don't get to keep all that to begin with. They have to give theater cuts out of that money to start with. So it did not make it back. No.
So we'll talk about this. This is actually worse than I thought it was going to be because I'd forgotten all about the horror movies. I kind of discounted the horror movies because I'm like, well, it's like $1 million Gen Z thing, whatever. Nobody gives a shit. No, a lot of people give a shit. Backrooms and Obsession still holding in there. Now, there's some debate as to where Masters of the Universe is going to be, if it's going to be 2 or 3 this weekend. But really what did it was the Amazing Digital Circus, because that has bumped Star Wars out of...
Yeah, can you imagine a Star Wars movie being bumped out of the top, couple spots within, 3 weeks? Could you ever even imagine that in a million years, like 15 years ago? No. You're like, holy crap, what did they do?
Disney.
Yeah, I know Disney, but I know Disney. Never go full Disney.
So this is kind of the utter state of it, because honestly, we reviewed The Mandalorian and Grogu before you guys were like, oh, you guys are just a bunch of haters. We actually gave it pretty decent reviews. We were kinder to it than a lot of other people in this space. Let's put it that way. But that doesn't matter because numbers are numbers. And it doesn't matter how good some of my favorite movies of all time were huge box office failures. So, you can have two things be true at once. You can have a good movie that underperforms for a variety of reasons, or people just don't think a 2-hour episode of a Disney Plus show is worth paying ticket price for.
Right. You just wait till it goes to Disney Plus, and it'll probably hit Disney Plus sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think sooner, definitely, to try to get some money back. So we're going to talk about this, and I got to give a hat tip to, I think it's Mac who sent us this on Twitter, and I looked into it. I'm like, damn, that is worse than I thought it was going to be. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's moreclownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV. And also check out our podcast out on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts. So, yeah, deadline confirmed it. Again, this is Friday, so we don't know where the weekend's going to end. But if I had to guess, I think it's going to hold right here, where Scary Movie's number 1. Obviously, I think everybody knew Scary Movie was going to be number 1. Masters of the Universe could go 2 or 3. We don't know. Backrooms, an Obsession, then the Amazing Digital Circus, which I believe this is the only weekend they're going to have it in the theaters.
Is it? I don't know if it is or not. I think so. Because I don't know if it is or not, but I know that's going to be on YouTube soon. Because we asked our daughter, oh, I thought you want to go to that. And they're like, why? It's going to be on YouTube in like a week. And I'm like, okay, well.
Well, it's Fathom. I see it's Fathom Entertainment. They're usually limited release. So I'm guessing this is just a special thing for the fans to celebrate the end of the show, which is still going to bring a lot of people out because it's crazy popular, right? Then Mandalorian and Grogu is and look at the difference in theaters. So Amazing Digital Circus is only 2,200 theaters. Mandalorian and Grogu is 3,300 theaters, and it's still getting its ass kicked by the Amazing Digital Circus. It's like everything we thought we knew about the box office and how Hollywood worked has been upended post-pandemic. I'm waiting for that.
Womp.
Yeah, womp womp. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for all the excuses to be made. Like, well, because of the pandemic, you can't count on Star Wars being Star Wars anymore. But it's because of the pandemic, not because Star Wars sucks now and that Disney's completely devalued the brand in record time. No. It's got to be the pandemic and the weather and whatever other stupid excuse they come up with. But coming in at number 6, 3 weeks into it's not good, guys. No. But I want to talk about the what it needs to break even, and then the cope on Reddit. Again, guys, we gave it a decent review, so this isn't a hater thing, but this just shows how little the general public gives a shit about Star Wars right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Though they'll try to blame it on toxic fans and men or whatever they try to blame it on, and it just means that people didn't go. They across the board. Like they keep doing this with other movies like that are female led. It's like, but women didn't go either. It's just people just didn't show up. So you can scream about it till the cows come home. But the fact of the matter is, no matter how you slice it, people don't care. They're tired of it. They just don't give a shit anymore. And you've created apathy, which is the kiss of death.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because people are like, well, it's all the haters and the hater videos and whatever. When we first started, voicing our displeasure with the direction Disney is taking Star Wars, and those videos got significantly more views because a lot of people were sad and they were grieving and they're angry and they couldn't get past it. A lot of people just don't give a shit now about Star Wars one way or the other. Even the original trilogy. I mean, I've gotten to the point now where I haven't actually sat through the original trilogy in probably almost a decade at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like back, I used to watch them every year, once or twice a year. I'd go through all 3 films and I'd watch them. And I haven't done that in a long time because I know all roads lead to Disney Star Wars and I don't like Disney Star Wars. So, but they said, this is what it needs to make money. They said it has a reported budget of $166.4 million. It had a tax credit. They're breaking all this down. They said basically
it's a tax credit, but here's the kicker. So it's 144 million. Yeah, if the budget is as they say. They've done this many times before. They said it was that much money, and then it turned out that that was reported before they did a bunch of other things. So it's very possible it could be higher than that. Go ahead.
Yeah, they said for the sake of fairness, if the movie's marketing budget is half of its pre-tax credit production budget, Disney would have to have spent around $83 million.
Spent way more than that.
Suggesting a combined total of, this is for the sake of fairness. So they're saying at least $227 million for the movie's budget with marketing, but they think it's more than that. But to just give you, we'll give you that one. Maybe a tax credit, maybe it got, whatever. They said Rogue One cost $271 million before marketing. Grogu cost $100 million less. So that's true because it was a TV show. The traditional rule of thumb for a movie to be profitable at the box office is that it must recoup double its budget. Based on our estimate of $227 in production marketing costs, Mandalorian and Grogu needs to gross $454 million to just break even, with $500 likely as a safe bet just to break even. To turn a profit, it has to make more than that. And that's coming from MovieWeb. That is movie math. And I know that there are anti critics out there that try to argue with the movie math. They're like, you don't know how it actually works. What are you, some kind of Hollywood accountant? It's like, no, but actual Hollywood accountants and people in the industry have told us how the math works. This is how it actually works. Like anybody that works in the industry will tell you this is how it works, right? It's just like if you're printing books or whatever, it's like, okay, this is the production cost, but you have to figure the shipping and whatever. Nobody goes into business making anything with the intention of treading water. Okay. And Disney, especially when things aren't profitable, they will pull the plug on it and they will divert their funds to something that's actually going to turn a profit.
Profitable things if it's not profitable enough.
If it's not profitable enough, Disney Infinity, we keep bringing that one up. But the reason Disney Infinity got canceled, it wasn't that it wasn't profitable. It actually was very profitable for Disney, but it wasn't profitable enough. And they didn't want to deal with all the toys and the overhead and stuff. So they're like, well, we'd make more money if we just outsource all of our video games to EA. And that's what they did. So Reddit's not taking it terribly well. We've got this coming from the Star Wars subreddit. Congrats to those involved. Mando has broken even its production budget in its first weekend.
Yeah, that's really way. It's not the headline is technically not incorrect, but it doesn't mean what they're trying to present that it means.
Yeah, this is like somebody saying, well, I make $100,000 a year. It's like, do you have $100,000 a year in your pocket? No, there's taxes and there's what. I'm like, then you don't actually take home $100,000 a year, do you? It's like, this is not how it actually works. But this person's like, yeah, the comment section is the definition of whiplash. My kids love it. No one cares what your kids think. The movie is fun and campy. There were no stakes. What a terrible movie. Got reviewed horribly. It got 89 Rotten Tomatoes, so it's good. It doesn't matter. This is the thing. It doesn't matter what you think about the fucking movie. Okay? It doesn't matter what you think about the fucking comic book. It doesn't matter what you think about the fucking video game. Okay? You personally, if you're talking the numbers and you're strictly talking numbers, what matters is what the general public thinks. If you personally like a thing, that's fine. Good for you. But if the general public, more than you, other people don't like it very much, then it's not going to do very well. Right. And it's math. And I get so tired of people conflating with this thing was a huge disaster. Well, that means you hate it. No, that's not what that means. Are you listening to the words?
They don't listen. They don't want to hear it. Basically, they've over the past, like, whatever, 12 years or so, people have been trained to be combative and not listen. And that if you don't like it, then it's a personal slight against them for some reason because you don't like it and they do. It doesn't matter if you like it. You're allowed to like it. Like we say this all the time, hey, you're allowed to like it. You're allowed to not like it.
Absolutely.
The problem becomes, and when we step in, is when you are not allowed to like it, when you are not allowed to not like it. That's when we step in because we're like, oh, hell no. But the reality is you might like the movie and it might be an arguably good movie. That being said, it doesn't mean that it made money.
Right. And like I said before, some of my favorite movies of all time are huge box office bombs. And it is what it is, right? But no, we get people like, even in the comments yesterday, we did the Masters of the Universe review, and I didn't even answer it because I'm not going to answer it because it's like, yeah, that's what they're looking for. But we had some people and they were like, are you going to rescind all your comments about it being, toxic masculinity or whatever?
We never said that.
We never said that. If you actually watch our videos, which these people don't, they look at the thumbnails, and the thumbnails have to be done a certain way to get the attention of YouTube. That's just the way the game works, guys. That's the way the game works. But you will know that we're reporting on what other people were saying 9 times out of 10, right?
And I'll tell you flat out, most of what they said was bunk.
Yeah, we've actually done, in the case of He-Man, we actually did a couple of videos talking about how the media was not doing the movie any favors.
No, it was anti-help.
It was anti-help. But again, you would actually have to watch the videos to know, not just look at the thumbnails. And same with Mando. Like, if you actually look at the review that we gave it, you will realize that we actually liked it overall for what it was. That being said, that doesn't mean the movie's going to make money, right? Just because we like, I don't understand. It's like, I like this thing, so suddenly it's the most successful thing ever. I was like, come on, but really the reason we're looking at this is a case study in just how much brand damage Disney has done to a franchise in record time. I can't imagine any other franchise has been dragged as much as Lucasfilm just as a whole. I mean, they destroyed Willow to the point where the last series was so bad it was more profitable to take it off the air, to pull it off of streaming. Indiana Jones 5 is one of the biggest money-losing movies in history because it cost almost $400 million. And it's Indiana Jones. And then now we've got a Star Wars movie, even though it was based on a TV show, a Star Wars movie dropping out of the top 5, losing to $1 million horror movies made by YouTubers within the span of 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is just fact. This isn't, because the toxic people are man babies. No, fuck you. This is just fact. This is actual, provable fact and numbers. And the fact is, when there are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people that could potentially go to these films, they aren't coming to the films.
No.
So they all can't be toxic male, man, baby, whiner, incel, whatever, can they? No. By definition, they cannot. This is called math. I know it hurts some of your fifis, but math is math. Facts are facts.
And at this point, as of, I believe, the 4th or 5th, domestically, this movie's made $145 million. Internationally, it's made $109 million, which is way under what they thought it was going to be. Worldwide, $255 million, which is only halfway to being to breaking even, let alone profit. Like, that's not good. And honestly, at this point, if it's already dropped out of the top 5, I don't even know if it's going to make 300.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It's going to be probably pulled in theaters soon because when the Marvels did this, that's what Disney did too. They took it out. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be bumped out of theaters. Totally here shortly, and then it'll go to Disney Plus, and then
where it belongs,
and they'll try that. Yes,
where it belongs.
I mean, it is good. It is actually pretty good.
It's
but
not
it does
bad.
belong.
Yeah, it's okay.
It belongs on Disney Plus. You can definitely tell it was. People try to argue, no, it isn't. It's a movie, but then Filoni and Favreau admitted it was the show. Repurposed. It was
a show. They condensed it.
They admitted it later, and it's like you can tell. Trust me. I mean, it has a better. It's a little bit more detailed and done a little bit better than the show, but it's the show. You know, you can tell.
Yeah, there's nothing really theatrical about it. I mean, like I said, it was a good 2-hour episode of, actually, this would have been a great, season 4 opener and then go into the rest of season 4. But, it is what it is, guys. Look, the interest in Star Wars has never been lower. And it's kind of ironic, though, and I said this before in another video, but Star Wars at one point was the outlier. Star Wars was the obsession. It was the backrooms. It was the movie nobody thought was going to go anywhere. They actually had to give Star Wars away to theaters. Like, if you run this other movie, we'll give you Star Wars for free, because nobody wanted it. And it became this huge, huge hit. And now it's this like corporate tentpole thing. And now people have certain expectations, like Star Wars movies have to be like the biggest damn thing out there. But there's so many other franchises out there that are bigger than Star Wars. And if you still like Disney Star Wars, that's great. I'm happy for you. I really am. I wish I could get into it again. I just can't. You know, even watching Mando, I'm like, yeah, it was pretty good. But I'm like, am I going to run out and go buy Mando action figures and shit? No. Am I going to go back and rewatch all the Disney Plus shows? Hell no. I'm not going to subject myself to that.
It's not only just that, the time sink's so ridiculous.
The
I think
time
a lot of the
sink,
problem
yeah.
people are having too is like Marvel has said about starting back at like ground zero, and it's like they have to, because the time sink is so daunting that a lot of people aren't going to do it. They don't want to spend all that time.
Yeah. But there it is, guys. This is the utter state of
Again,
Disney Star Wars.
Facts. You
Don't
might
care
love
about
it,
your feelings.
and that's fine. But these are the facts. And I'm tired of being like, you're terrible, you're grifters, I'm like, no, we just show you the facts. You know what? There's the facts. You don't like it, then I don't know what to tell you. Take it up with reality, because you're clearly not living there. But,
Take it up with God.
That's right. Take it up with reality, because there it is.
All right, we going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.